Chapter 3: The Gathering Storm. The Power of Hope. The fragile alliances, forged in the crucible of war and betrayal, were far from secure. Mistrust lingered like a persistent shadow, threatening to unravel the carefully constructed bonds. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, a new force emerged, a force more potent than any army, more enduring than any treaty: hope. It wasn't a naive optimism, but a resilient flame flickering in the darkness, fueled by the unwavering love between Gia and Lysander. Their love story, a forbidden romance born amidst ancient hatreds, became a symbol of defiance against the odds. Whispers of their unwavering commitment to each other spread through the ranks of the Nightshade coven and beyond, reaching the ears of weary soldiers and disillusioned citizens. They had witnessed the devastation of war, the brutality of the Sunstone army, and the agonizing loss of loved ones. The ceaseless conflict had eroded their faith, leaving them with a profound weariness. But the steadfastness of Gia and Lysander's love offered a glimmer of something different, a beacon in the encroaching darkness. Gia, the fierce leader of the Nightshade coven, had always possessed a commanding presence, her magic a weapon as much as a shield. But now, a new dimension was added to her leadership, a compassionate understanding that transcended the battlefield. She recognized the exhaustion and despair that plagued her people and those of her newfound allies. She began to speak not only of strategy and tactics, but of hope, of a future where peace could prevail over endless warfare. Her words, infused with the quiet strength of her love for Lysander, resonated deeply, stirring something within the hearts of her listeners. Lysander, the stoic and strategic leader of the Nightshade, used his influence differently. He didn't speak of grand visions of the future as Gia did, but instead focused on the practical application of hope. He emphasized the tangible benefits of unity, the shared resources, the combined strengths, the increased chances of survival. His speeches were less about inspiring dreams and more about building trust, forging collaboration and creating a pathway to victory through strategic alliances and cooperation. He addressed their shared vulnerability, emphasizing their collective need to overcome this threat, showing how their united efforts were not just a choice, but a necessity for survival. Their combined approach proved remarkably effective. The soldiers, exhausted by years of relentless conflict, found renewed purpose in the fight for a future that held the promise of peace and a chance at a life free from the constant threat of war. The combined strength of the Nightshade and their newly forged alliances, the Sylvan Kingdom and the Silent Watch, grew exponentially, not only in terms of numbers but also in morale. They were no longer fighting for mere survival but for a future shaped by Gia and Lysander's unwavering faith. The very essence of their forbidden love seemed to radiate outwards, fueling a collective determination, enhancing their strength and pushing them to stand united in the face of insurmountable adversity. The impact extended beyond the battlefield. The hope fostered by Gia and Lysander's love story had begun to infiltrate the political landscape, creating unexpected shifts in allegiance. Some Sunstone soldiers, witnessing the steadfastness of the Nightshade and the unity of their allies, found themselves questioning their own loyalty. The propaganda of war and hatred, so effective for so long, began to lose its power. The reality of a united front, fueled by a powerful and inspiring message of hope, began to weaken the resolve of their enemies. The power of their message wasn't limited to those fighting in the war, it spread to the civilians, who had borne the brunt of the fighting, and to the neutral populations who were living on the edges, watching and waiting for the results of the conflict. The constant turmoil had eroded faith in leadership and the promise of a better future, and this weariness and cynicism provided fertile ground for Gia and Lysander's message. The simplicity of their message of hope, a hopeful future for their people and a world without constant war, resonated with the civilians who longed for a peaceful resolution. Their inspiring message ignited a spark of hope amongst the people, causing them to question their loyalty to those that propagated the violent conflict and fueled the desperation. Individuals, weary of bloodshed and oppression, began to question the very foundations of the conflict, finding strength in the shared hope for peace. Secret alliances formed, lines of communication opened, and dissenting voices, once silenced by fear, began to find their strength in the growing tide of optimism. The shift in momentum wasn't immediate or dramatic, it was a slow, Subtle change, a quiet revolution fueled by the seemingly insignificant act of two individuals, their love, their hope, their unwavering devotion to one another. It was a change that began in the hearts of individuals, slowly permeating outward, inspiring loyalty, forging unity, and weakening the resolve of their adversaries. The growing support for the united front was not just a matter of military might, it was a testament to the transformative power of hope. The people's faith in their shared future was restored, bolstering the unity that Gia and Lysander had diligently fostered. The combined power of their unified forces became far greater than the sum of their individual parts. The enemy, initially confident in their superiority, began to waver. Reports of desertions within the Sunstone ranks became more frequent. Their lines of communication, once ironclad, began to fray, riddled with doubt and dissent. The Sunstone leadership, used to controlling the narrative, found themselves increasingly outmaneuvered. Their carefully crafted propaganda, once so effective in fostering hatred and fear, lost its potency in the face of the spreading optimism fostered by Gia and Lysander's united strength and unwavering commitment to their shared destiny. Their actions demonstrated the infectious nature of hope. It spread like wildfire, igniting the spirits of the downtrodden and causing shifts in allegiance among their enemies. Gia and Lysander's influence wasn't merely symbolic, it had a tangible impact on the battlefield. Their shared vision shaped the strategy, resulting in bold, innovative tactics that surprised and outmaneuvered their enemy. The unwavering loyalty their message inspired within their own ranks, combined with the fracturing of their enemy's resolve, resulted in tactical advantages that made all the difference in critical battles. The power of hope, embodied in their love and commitment, became a strategic weapon. Yet, the journey was far from over. The war was far from won. The Sunstone army remained a formidable force, its leadership still clinging to power, fueled by ambition and a desperate desire to maintain control. The path ahead was still strewn with obstacles, rife with potential setbacks and unexpected challenges. But the seed of hope had been planted, growing stronger with each passing day, nourished by the unwavering love of two individuals and their inspiring vision. It was a slow and gradual transformation, a quiet revolution spreading through their world, a testament to the unwavering power of hope in the face of insurmountable odds. The gathering storm still raged, but now, amidst the chaos, a beacon of light shone brightly, guiding them towards a future where peace might finally prevail. The future remained uncertain, but the presence of hope was undeniable, a tangible force shaping the course of the war and the destinies of those caught within its tempestuous winds.